Dear friends in the Dhamma, just I recited a stanza very familiar with Buddhist to discuss about the members of the society and mainly to discuss about the family and its management according to Buddhist point of view. First of all, I would like to wish you for the 2011 to have a very prosperous year. At the same time, I want to say that this is the 5th year of our program of Dhamma Talks. I can remember how we started this Dhamma series. Actually, I am very proud of this program because I proposed it to arrange after the demising of our late Chief Reverend. What we do here, this is what the Chief Reverend conducted every Friday. You were very happy to see him in this stage. We were very happy to see him sitting in this special stage with a big crowd, not like today, because he was so great personality. Because of him, we are enjoying our spiritual way in the Brickfield Temple. So, dear friends in the Dhamma, since then we continue his way to respect the late Chief Reverend. Now we have many Dhamma speakers from different parts of the world, including the senior Venerable Dr. Puniji. So you are very lucky to have such Dhamma speakers. I know that you are sharing spiritual happiness with our spiritual masters. Today, I selected a new topic relevant to the modern society. It is Buddhism for the family management. So this topic is very important for the marriage couples, and again those who want to be a husband and wife. And one thing, if there are some single members, for them not so important. I think there are some single ones here listening to the Dhamma talk under this topic. Anyway, they can advise to others how to arrange their family according to Buddhistic way. Why I selected this topic? There is a reason. In the modern world, you have a lot of problems with the family, scattered, and no happiness in the family, lot of problems. Some they are very serious about their family management, so on. So I decided to select this topic to show you how to build a happy family life under Buddhist teachings. The Buddha was so great. He was the enlightened one, and he was so clever to discuss about everything and anything. The teaching of the Buddha is for everybody and anybody. Buddhism goes with everyone in the world. We can apply Buddhism to any kind of society. In this way we should look at it and find the way how to understand Buddhism to apply for our family management. So dear friends in the Dhamma, we can remember that once Buddha met a layperson with a big question. What was his question? He requested the Buddha, please, the way how to build the family according to Buddhistic way. Do you think that we as lay people cannot practice your path? Then Buddha said, no. As a layperson, you can practice Buddhism. I would like to introduce they how to build your family life in successful way. Then the Buddha narrated the special principles to be practiced as lay people. This is the first thing we should know. At the beginning we should be ready to build our personality as lay people. It is very important. Normally in the society we have problem cases. Automatically we become very weak. We are not ready to face to the challenges or problems. We are afraid of them. We are searching for a way to escape from problems, not to face to them. When we try to find a way to escape from problems, automatically we become very lazy and weak. We should be ready to face to the situation. So Buddha first of all asked him to build his personality, to be a proper human being. Buddhism is for that. Buddhism says the way how to build the human nature. Human beings are the only beings in this universe with understanding, with a kind of special energy. We should be sure about them. All these qualities we have, but we neglect them. We are not ready to cultivate them. If we cultivate them, then we are ready to face to any situation, we are ready to face to any challenge or any problem. So Buddha asked that gentleman to be ready to practice proper worldly life. With what? With 4 qualities. The number 1 is called in Pali Uttana Sampada. Uttana Sampada means determination. That means to have a clear vision. We should be with a clear vision. And that clear vision should be there with understanding about his own qualities. It is called Uttana Sampada. Without this kind of determination, we cannot go ahead. If we are so weak, then we cannot go ahead. To get that determination, every individual should understand about himself or herself. Buddhism for that, to understand himself or herself. Who am I? You should put that question first to yourself and see your own weaknesses and build the qualities to be a real human being. So that is called Uttana Sampada. Then Buddha mentioned about Arakka Sampada. That means protection. To have real protection. How to get protection? To be, understand that you should cultivate good qualities within you. And then you can protect yourself. You can protect your property even. And all others will be protected if you have that quality with you. It is called Arakka Sampada. And then Kalyana Mittata. To be associated with spiritual friends. We are very familiar with this word, Kalyana Mitta. As Buddhists, we have discussed very often about this kind of friends. There are various kind of friends in the society. Spiritual friends, good friends, and normal friends. We can divide them into 3 categories. Who are the normal friends? Those who are associating with you whenever you have any kind of meeting and say hello to you. They are normal friends. Just sitting and say hello, that's all. No more connection. They are normal friends. And then good friends. Good friends means sometime when you want something, you can ask a kind of help from them, then they help you. They are good friends. They are ready to help you. And then the best one is called Kalyana Mittata, spiritual friends. This is the most important group of our friends. Spiritual friends are always ready to look after you, to help you, to share with you happiness or unhappiness, to guide you. They do like that. Those who are looking after you, you can imagine, they are the parents. They are looking after you. Mainly parents. They are our spiritual friends. And then those who are guiding us to go in this way, they are our teachers or spiritual masters guiding us. Those who are ready to share happiness or suffering with us, they are our very close friends, associating always with us. They share everything with us. So, teachers, spiritual masters, parents, and other very close friends, they are called Kalyana Mitra or spiritual friends. So, Buddha said that to build your proper personality as a lay person, you should have such kind of friends. And then Samajivikata. This is very important. To manage with everything properly, we should be ready in your lay life. Management in the family can be arranged if you know how to keep balance in your way of living. You should keep in balance them all. Whatever the things you have to keep them in a balance. You should be ready to accept what you have. You should not be ready to expect more. Then it is a problem. It is a problem for your management in your family life. So Buddha advised in this way: Arakka Sampada, Uttana Sampada, Kalyana Mittata, Samajivikata. These are the main 4 principles to be practiced by us to create proper personality. So, with this expression, we should continue our discussion. First of all, as a lay person, as a member of the lay society, we all should build proper personality. Without that personality, you cannot get success in your family life. Today, in the society, there are so many complaints about families. Husband says against wife, wife says against husband, children says against parents, and relatives criticize their children, so on. So many complaints. The main reason is that we are not with the real personality. Because of that, we create unnecessary problems when we build the family. And again, we should go to the concept of family. What is a family? Family is mainly with husband and wife. That is why I mentioned first that this subject, this topic is fit for the husbands and wives. And this topic is very suitable to those who are going to be husbands and wives. Because all these teachings, one day or other, you can apply into your family. And then you should have a question how a Buddhist monk can say about the family problems. Yes. How far you know about family problems? How far you have experience about family problems? Being a monk more than 50 years. We associate with families, especially in Sri Lanka. We are very close to the families. I think you cannot find such a connection with other countries. In Sri Lanka, monk is the, we say, deity of the family. Kula Devata in our language. Deity of the family. Why they say so? Whatever the problem they have, they bring that problem to the temple. So same thing with me, being the chief monk of my temple. Sometimes husband comes to the temple. Sometimes wife come to the temple. Sometimes children come to the temple and say against each other. Recently, one husband came to see me and he put a wonderful question or a problem to me. He mentioned that, Venerable Sir, now I have decided to go away from the family. Then I asked, why? No, sir, my wife is not ready to respect me. This is the way he started to say. Then I asked, can you tell me in detail about the reason for that? Then he started to say about his sorrowful situation. He said, Venerable Sir, I had a very good friend of mine. He's younger to me. But he lost his job. Then he asked me whether you can help me to stay in your house for a short time till I find a job. Then he accepted because he was one of his good friends. Not a spiritual friend. He was a good friend. You remember I just mentioned about the meanings of those friends. He was a good friend. Then he gave a chance to stay in his house. Then what happened? Then this poor man was telling me, Sir, now my wife is respecting my friend as her husband, not myself. That is why I decided to run away. Do you have any answer to help him? Let me know what he can do now. I think you don't have any answer. No, it is not an easy task. It's a very difficult situation. Then I said, oh my dear friend, you have done a very great mistake. The first thing is, you have not understood the nature of your wife. Oh, this is the beginning of our topic. If you want to build a real family life, for the management of your family, husband and wife should have proper understanding each other. To get that understanding, husband should have a proper personality. That personality with all kind of qualities, mental and physical and all. Today a lot of problems in the society or in the family because of this misunderstanding between each other, husband and wife. So if anyone here is ready to get married in the future, first of all, please have proper understanding between each other and build your own palace between these two, husband and wife. That palace should be only for them, not for the others, then all kind of problems. This is called worldly life. This is called the worldly life. Worldly life is with a desire. There is no limit of desire. Tannahaya jayati soko. Limitless, no limit. We don't know when that desire goes up. We don't know. It happens very fast. So, having understood the Dhamma, if you build a family, you can have a very beautiful kind of family life. For that, Buddha has mentioned so many instructions as the principles for family management. The first one is real understanding between the husband and wife. And then, now we should go to different discourses. Through these discourses, we can collect all other principles or teachings Buddha preached to build a proper family life. The first one is called Parabhava Sutta. In the Parabhava Sutta, it says that if you are a husband, you should know your own qualities, and if you can enjoy with those qualities with your partner, then there will not be any dispute between husband and wife. So that is also same. It means every individual must know our own nature. Whether I am a short temper, whether I am a person with jealousy, so on, we should know it, everything about ourselves. This is also a problem in the society. We don't try to find out ourselves. Instead of that, we try to find everything of others. That is wrong. I must know my own good qualities and bad qualities. You all should know each other, your good qualities and bad qualities. And when you find out your bad qualities, what you have to do, just try to reduce them. At once cannot, but slowly. For instance, you have normally a short temper. We have such characters. Then what you should do to reduce it? To get anger very fast. What is the treatment for that? It is very simple. What we should do, we know that we should practice metta meditation. This is the only treatment. And when you practice metta meditation every day perfectly, automatically we come to a certain level where we can see ourselves, and we then try to reduce little by little our anger or short temper. So we should have it. If we have short temper, jealousy, misunderstanding or ignorance, we cannot build a proper family life. Never. It is not possible. We should be very open to others. We should be very flexible to others. We should be with patience. We should be ready to listen to others, not to criticize others, but to praise others. Normally in the society, This is also a problem. We are not ready to praise others. Husband is not ready to praise his wife. Wife is not ready to praise his husband. In secret, they criticize each other. My wife is not like me, wasting everything, careless girl, so on. Unfortunately, I found her. If I came to know her first, I would have to reject so many complaints. It is our nature. But to have a beautiful family, we must know the Dhamma. Dhamma is not only to attain Nibbana. Dhamma is to build a family. This is the wonderful thing in Buddhism. Buddhism is not only to attain Nibbana. Before that, how many things we have to achieve? First thing is to build the family, beautiful family. Actually, I am very sorry to say, many Buddhist families are not successful. Not successful. Why? They don't apply the teaching of Buddha to their family life. That is why we have this problem. In that sense, I am thinking nowadays, from next year onward, I asked Brother Prem to arrange like that way, to meet each and every families. Because, why I propose like that? Nowadays, there are so many Dhamma speakers. So, we have enough Dhamma speakers. Now the time has come to go to families and discuss with them how far they have used Dhamma to create beauty in their family. From next year onward, I will be ready to visit even your all families. You should be ready to welcome me. What type of questions I would like to put to you? First one is, I want to ask, dear friend, where is your wife? Dear friend, where is your husband? You cannot say, oh, she is no more with me. He is no more with me. You cannot say. Both of you should be ready to welcome me. And next thing, where are your children? When I ask that question, the children should come from their own rooms. Normally, this is also a problem. Nowadays, what parents do? Parents have given them separate rooms. With what? With a TV and a computer. So their father is computer, mother is TV. They only respect them. If you ask, my dear son, come immediately, they don't come. No, mother, I am busy with something in my computer. No, mother, I am enjoying with a cartoon. They don't come. We have to change it. They should enjoy with computer and watching TV, but they should watch the TV with parents. Should not give them separately to enjoy. Because of this problem, there are so many complaints against the parents. No more family there, because they are not ready to listen to their parents. So then finish. Family is no more. Husband and wife, then after children. It is called the family. Apart from them, we have some other members. Your own father and mother, and mother-in-law and father-in-law. So today This is another case. Sometimes father complains against grandchildren. Your mother's complaint against grandchildren. So these are internal conflicts in many families. In the past, especially in Chinese culture, they were very close to each other. Very close to each other. Grandparents were ready to look after the grandchildren in the past. Because of that, grandchildren had very close affection to the grandparents. Unfortunately today, when we come to a certain level of age, 75, 80, grandfather, grandmother are very seriously ill. So they cannot help grandchildren. This is also a natural situation. Anyway, we should try to find solution through the teaching of the Buddha. We can apply them. Because it's a very vast field, the teaching of the Buddha. We can collect them. In the Sigalova Sutta, we are very familiar with the Sigalova Sutta. Lot of instruction given by the Buddha how to manage with the members of the family. That means parents, how to do their service to their children. They should look after them very well. They should educate them very well. They should introduce good friends to them. They should give property during their suitable period. So on, parents have duties. These duties help to build a proper management in the family. And then children also automatically follow the teachings as mentioned in the Sigalova Sutta. They respect their parents. They look after the parents when they are sick. They listen to the parents. They follow the parents. All these things from the children's side. Because each other close to each other. They have mutual understanding, parents and children, between them. That mutual understanding comes through their respect. Parents respect children as their own children. Children respect parents as their father and mother. So we should follow all these principles to build the proper family management. Otherwise, family will collapse suddenly. And again, husband and wife, once again I want to mention it. This is the most important pillar in a house. Husband and wife. They build the house. Their duties should be very meaningful. How? Husband should respect wife. Wife should respect husband. Nothing to hide. No secret. Duties, both of them should be done. In the past, during the Buddha's time, somewhat different from today. Wife should respect highly husband, just something like somewhat like a god. Early morning around 4 o'clock, wife should get up. Even today, Indians they do it. Around 4 o'clock they should get up, wives, and clean herself and prepare a cup of milk, go to the husband and offer the glass of milk and pay respect. That is the Hindu culture. But Buddha did not say we should do like that. Buddha said that each other should respect them. That's very good. Husband and wife. He wanted to change this kind of society. That is why he was the revolutionist. He was the socialist. So he changed it. Pay respect to each other. Have a real understanding. Don't keep any secret. Everything should be perfect. And then when husband and wife follow this way, children pay more respect to the father and mother. They are happy to see what? When husband and wife, that means mother and father, sitting together, talking friendly, children are very happy. One of my friends told me, when he comes home after working in a company, children are very happy to see when wife is sitting with her husband. So they are telling so many stories going around them. They are happy. So that atmosphere should be in the family. They appreciated it. So when we follow all these things, we can see the beauty of the family. And again, to have a beautiful family life, especially with the advice to associate with spiritual masters. Whenever problem comes, any problem, should go to the spiritual master and take instructions to find a solution. Either to a religious master or to a teacher. It is the way we had in the past. Even today we can apply it. You can select a suitable master for you. Teachers and clergies, both of them we can consider as spiritual masters, because they guide you perfectly. That is why. And then you should approach to them whenever you want to find a solution. Because the life is a problem when you don't take real action. If you take a real step whenever you have a question, then it is not a problem. Till you find proper solution, it is a problem. The life is a problem. We don't discuss that matter, but personally, if you think yourself, life is a problem. Not only a problem, life is with full of fear. We don't say to others. Why with full of fear? We don't like to see the last moment. We don't like, and we don't like to discuss about that. So, till we are here, till the end of our life, we should be ready to protect our family life and create happiness at home. That is the very special thing. You should create happiness not outside, at home only. With whom? With your own family members. So Buddha introduced the way how to do it. Associating with the members of the family, morning and evening. Before you go to work, you should see each other. You should, normally we say goodbye. We should say goodbye to each other in the morning before you go to work. But nowadays, we don't see each other. Early morning, father is ready to go without telling hello to children. That is wrong. You should call your children and say, please be ready for the daily work. Now I am going to work. And then they come forward with a happy mood and they pay respect. In Sri Lanka they do like that. We have two stanzas to recite in front of the father and mother. Have you ever seen? No. Have you ever heard it? No. So these two stanzas, our children, they recite early in the morning before they go to school. Dasa maase ure katva posesi uddikaranam ayu digam vasasatan matu padan namama. Young children, they recite it. And then uddikaru aringitva chumbitva piya puttakam raja majjan supatittam pitu padan namama. They are in part. Meaning is, my mother, you have protected me 10 months till I came to this world. Because of that, I wish for your good health and happiness. Saying so, they pay respect and go to school. Same way, they respect their father. Uddikaro aringitva chumbitva piyaputtakam raja majjan supatittam pitu padan namama. My dear father, you support me, you feed me, you wish to be a great one in the future, so I respect you. I wish you all the best. Saying so, they go to school. And now there is a question. To build this family management, so children are so close to us. They have their own part to play in the family. And then to recite stanzas like this. How do they learn in Sri Lanka? Can you tell me? How did they learn? They can recite these two stanzas fluently. When they come to 6 years old, they can. How do they learn? They come to the temple every Sunday for the Sunday school. And in the Sunday school, we teach. Still we have that kind of tradition, but it is not easy to apply to our Malaysian culture. If I say that, please child, pay your respect to the father, he will not be ready, because this is a mixed culture. That is the problem in Malaysia. One day or other, if you come to Sri Lanka, I will show you how they respect their parents. So it is a must to have a proper family. And they don't worry about their children because they follow the discipline under the guidance of Sunday school teachings. So here I didn't find that kind of guidance, but somehow or other we should try to introduce them. At least once per month we should invite children into a hall like this, and we should keep in line the parents and ask children to come in a line and pay their respect to their parents. We should teach them the qualities of parents and children. And in front of parents, we should appreciate the qualities of children. then they become very proud of them. In front of children, we should appreciate the qualities of parents, both sides, qualities of children and qualities of parents. Then they become very close to each other. That is what we should do. In the past, we had another kind of quality in our families. Whenever children wanted to go for a special kind of interview or any other examination, so normally they took blessing from the parents. Blessing, how they took blessing? Mother got up early in the morning and prepared some special kind of food called milk rice in Sri Lanka. I am telling everything from Sri Lanka. So, milk rice is a holy food. And early morning she prepared it and gave to the child as a blessing. And then enjoy it. After that, they come to the mother and father and paid respect. Dear mother, give permission to go. Dear father, give permission to go out. And what they do? They just bless them. How they bless them? Touching the forehead. Oh my dear son, oh my dear girl, I wish you all the best. With the blessing of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, may you get success. They were ready to say like that. That is the blessing of the father and mother. Today, they don't do like that. Sometimes, what they do, they give a very big kiss. That's all. No blessing. When you give a kiss, what happens? Become dirty the face. Yes. That is not nice. That is not the real way. It is against the health. It is against the health. We should give blessing. The embracing is not the real way. That is why we have the meaningful way. We have all Buddhist countries, we hold hands and say, Namaskar, Ajubovan, wish you all the best, like that. Very meaningful. And we must know the power of the center of the palm. Now we have neglected it. You just ask a scientist. This center of the palm has a power. Even fingertips, we know it. Fingertips have a kind of power. More power in the center part of the palm. That is why spiritual masters show like this. Yes, that is the meaning. They didn't say that there is a power, but there is a power according to science. They have found out it. It has a special power in the middle of the palm. So we should do touching the forehead and bless properly with loving kindness and compassion. It has been practiced since a long time, but we know the meaning of it. So parents should be ready to bless the children, and children should be ready to respect the parents. This is for the proper family management. Parents and children, as well as connection with the place where they are. That means the house. If you have a proper management in your family, others can see it when they go into your house. If the house is well arranged, if the house is with a kind of cleanliness, if your house is with a kind of spiritual background, everything we can see because of your proper family management. Buddha has given instructions not to keep any dust at home or dirty at home. Mainly he mentioned that if you keep dirty things in your house, it means your mind is dirty. Mind is dirty. You are not comfortable. If you are very comfortable, your house is very attractive. If you are mentally not comfortable, you cannot arrange properly. If you don't arrange house properly, apart from your members of the family, some others will come into your house. Who are they? Yes, rats. They are beings, the visible animals, rats and all other cockroach, ants, all these animals come. Apart from them, invisible beings also come. Who are they? You know, pretas. You know that word, preta. So they are ready to come. They are very happy to come into a house. So Buddha advised to be clean the houses. But you cannot do if you are not comfortable yourself. Compound should be very attractive one, and the inside of the house should be well arranged. Otherwise, all kind of visible and invisible beings will come and disturb you. Do you agree with me that there are pretas, some kind of pretas, they come into our house? You accept it? Yeah, we should accept it. Because, not because of the historical incidents. Scientists, they have discovered it. So that is very good for us. Now science has come to prove everything. So we should not reject them. We can accept them. Even not only Buddhists, even others, now they also respect it. They know it. All the invisible powers come and disturb us. So to have a proper family management, we should arrange the family perfectly, even material way. Not only family members, but also all these material things should be arranged perfectly. Then the family will be very beautiful. That is what worldly people should want to see. Beauty of the family. Not beauty of a single person. Many of us now ready to be single. When we ask a question, why you don't get married? They say, no, better to be single. Better to be alone. That is not a good answer. It is not nice. Sometimes some of our friends are single. What to do? But yesterday I went for a Dhamma talk in Sentu. On the way back, I asked the driver, are you a single or married? He said, single. How do you feel now? Frankly, he mentioned that, Bhante, I am boring now. Now I am 61 years old. I think you know the driver. Yes. He explained me about that. When we come to a certain level of our age, we become boring. If you don't have a partner or children. But again, the other side also. Sometime we marriage, we have children. If they are crazy, then again a problem. That is why we should follow the teachings of the Buddha to build proper family management. That is why we should discuss all this. So yesterday I got this uh, case that I was talking about his life. So now he is alone. He is alone and he is without a family. So it is a very good experience for me, without a family now. So how to be happy now? So we have many such single characters. So now we cannot ask them to get married. Then we should try to make them happy. That is the Buddhist teaching. Either marriage or not. It is our duty to show them the way to be happy. So what kind of teaching we should introduce them to be happy? Do you have any answer? Single person, what he should do? Yes, he should associate with different activities, welfare activities, social activities, voluntary work, and practice meditation, doing chanting. He should continue that way without any gap. If there is any gap, then he become boring. He should not find such a gap, he should continue. Otherwise, life will be very, very boring in the future. So that is the advice we can give to single persons. Marriage people should try to build a beautiful family life. Even now it is not late. That is the teaching of Buddha. That is the beauty of the Buddhism. We don't fully reject anything. We say, still you have time. Still you have time. You can change yourself and go ahead. We should advise like that to our friends. To be ready in this moment. Should not go to the past. Should not think about the future too much. Be ready now. And start from this moment to be sure about your future, to have a beautiful family life. So in this way, we should collect all the teachings and apply to our family life. Even in the Mangala Sutta, Mahamangala Sutta, Buddha has mentioned some other duties we should practice. Mata Pitu Pattanam Puttadara Sangaho. That means to have a beautiful family life, we should look after our elderly ones like father and mother. We should not neglect it. We should look after them. Puttadara Sangaho. At the same time, we should look after the wife and children. So these principles preached by the Buddha to have a beautiful family life. And again, in the Sigalova Sutta, Buddha narrated that to have a proper moral character, you should follow some special principles. What are they? Not to kill, not to steal. Again, Buddha mentioned that not to associate with bad friends and not to enjoy illegal sexual entertainments. These are in the Sigalova Sutta. To build a beautiful family background. So these principles we can apply to our daily life. And if we are okay, we should ask our other friends to apply them. If you have a successful family life, you should be happy, and again you should be ready to help others. That is Buddhism. Buddhism is to be happy and to make others happy. These two things you have to remember. Buddhism for what? To be happy and to make others happy. So, if you have a very successful family life, you should have a kind of mission. What kind of mission? You should ask your friends to build such beautiful family lives. So it is a kind of service we do. So dear friends, I think you are very happy with these instructions. So we should try to apply them into your families and build beautiful Buddhist families and enjoy here and hereafter till attain Nibbana. Thank you very much for your listening. If you have any question, then you can ask questions that we can discuss.